Hey Bulldogs, I'm Rob, and I'm here with Cary Fagan, who's a professional photographer who graduated from Austin in 2008 and has since moved on to build a massive following on social media apps such as Twitter and Instagram. His work has gained the attention of many, including rapper and entrepreneur Kanye West. Cary, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
So, what first inspired you to become a photographer?
So, starting out, my dad has always done photography for Little League football, and so, in high school, I was actually never into the art program or into any of what I do now. I think being more with him and taking shots of the football players and stuff kind of inspired me to do my own style in photography.
Awesome. So, what made you start to lean more towards film than digital photography?
So I started with digital, and I did that for about 2 to 3 years. That's when my dad kind of grew on me as far as taking photography or picking it up as a medium. And so, after those 3 years, I started seeking inspirations. And there's this girl named Tamara Lichtenstein who's also based in Houston. I found out that she shot film, and so I was like, okay, like the colors are cool, the textures, the fading, I love it all. Let me try it. So then I bought a camera and I started.
And you've mastered it too. I've seen it and it's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, if someone wanted to pursue photography, where should they start?
So it's a good question. I never knew that photography was going to be like a main career option for me, because in high school I wanted to do soccer. I actually tried out for the Dynamos once, and I had a chance to be on their team. But after I shot the first roll of film, I was like, okay, this is something that exercises my mind. There's trial and error involved, and there's just infinite learning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You had a chance to be on the Dynamos team. Why didn't you take that?
Well, one, I wasn't really in shape at the time because their training is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think after the third tryout session, I had like the craziest like heat flashes, and so I was like, okay, maybe I'm not fit for it. But I still play. Like I still played league, indoor league. I still play now.
That's awesome.
So I wasn't ready for it. So I didn't want to jump into it.
Great. What was it like to work with Kanye West?
So Kanye, he's really not what people paint him out to be. He's a lot more different in person. He doesn't say much either, but he's very weird and he's very creative.
That's awesome.
So it was an experience. It was an experience. I couldn't really say anything in the room because, just because of the atmosphere. I didn't want to step on anything.
He probably has a really dominant personality, right?
It's,
quiet yet dominant.
He's hard to read. He's hard to read.
Yeah. A mind like that would be impossible to navigate. What photo, if any, would you say is the one you're most proud of?
Okay, so in California, me and Centrina, we travel a lot when we do projects, and so we were at my friend's house and we just saw a random plastic bag on the ground, and I was like, okay, we can incorporate this somehow. And so this is also on the Houston Chronicle, the photo of where the bag is over his head. So I really like that photo because half of her face is out of the bag and the rest you can't even see her face. And so I titled that photo Breathe, and the reason why I did is because a lot of people in this day and age are addicted to social media, Twitter, Instagram, and everything. And so Breathe lets people know that, give yourself some breathing room. You don't need to always be flooded by what you see on the media, because what you see on the media can influence you and can just hurt your morale and make you depressed. So, it's always good to disconnect from things in time.
To kind of take away from the negative or the clutter that is technology now.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you have any plans for the future?
Plans for the future. We're working on a creative agency, and we are helping them learn how to be professional in a business standpoint if you're a creative. And so right now we are working with 2 people, a model and a photographer. And this Saturday we're going to have them in our studio where we'll be teaching them and having them more hands-on. And so that's one of the projects that her and I are working on. But we're also just working to do commissioned projects all over the world and just kind of put our name out there.
Awesome. What's your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part of the job is that I get to meet people like you, or I get to meet curators of magazines, or people who own galleries, or just people who like my work. It's really cool meeting people because they all have different things to say to me. Each experience that I go through, say I travel to New York for a project, or I drive across Texas for a project, I'm learning something about myself, about my craft, and what potential I have as a photographer.
So how do you think you've grown over the years with your photography?
That's a good question. So let's see, for a while, doing film, I wasn't aware of, the competition, the market, the logistics of being a photographer. There's a lot more than just taking a picture, because mindfully you can mess up, you can make the wrong decision. It's just, now I feel like where I am now, it's all chess moves and I'm making the right ones. So I think I've matured a lot since I started doing film photography.
That's great. What are some of the places your job has taken you?
So I've been to Montreal, I've been to Toronto, I've been to New York several times. I'm actually going in like 2 weeks.
Awesome.
LA, just last weekend we were in Terlingua, Texas, which is like near the border of Mexico. Been to London and France, and I just had a gallery in Russia. I had a chance to go to Russia, but I didn't go because I don't know anyone out there.
Do you have like a favorite spot you've been to? Or a favorite gallery that you've produced?
So favorite gallery will be the Russia one. That's like my debut as a fine artist. And so, the whole setup of it, the whole organization of it, it really felt like I owned a gallery in Russia, and people, whether they're in business suits or just casual, were going in and looking at my work, which is really, really amazing.
That's awesome. That must feel great.
Yeah, it felt really good. I want to have more international shows like that. So yeah.
Can you walk us through your creative process?
Okay, so I'm usually up every morning by 5 or 6. That's the time when I work best, as far as just creating things, whether it be setting up a new shoot or just sending emails or finding different platforms to show my work in. So I'm up at 4 or 5, 6, and I work until 12 or 1, and then I kind of shut down.
That sounds real tough.
It's I've always been a morning person, so I think mornings are beautiful.
What advice would you give to students who want to pursue a similar goal?
Don't be afraid to go reach for your goals. In elementary school, I told my friends that I wanted to do something special in the world, and like I'm doing an interview for a high school, and so like I hope to inspire someone who's watching this, but you can't be afraid to do things. People in life are always going to tell you that you can't do something, or that you're not capable of doing something, and there's going to be people taking advantage of you when you are trying to reach those goals. You really have to be aware of your surroundings, but you also have to be confident too. So I'd say after graduating high school, most of you guys are going to change like your majors or your ideas in life, but if you have one set idea, go for it. And I'm here today. Like, I've been doing photography for 7-8 years, and it's paying off. Like, it's paying off.
I've noticed on a lot of your interviews you mentioned jazz. Why is that?
All right, so I was never involved in like the band here, but on the side I played saxophone, and so I had private lessons. I didn't really tell anyone about it, but on the side I did jazz. But I also had an obsession with jazz music, and so when I'm editing, when I'm shooting, when I'm creating something, I'll have jazz music playing in the background because it inspires me.
How did your time at Austin shape you as a person?
Okay, so being in Austin for 4 years, it didn't really shape me as a person, but without high school and without the experience, I wouldn't know where I would be today. Because if I didn't recognize this person in high school, then maybe my future would have been different in a way. So in high school, I was set on having a job, going to college and having a job and graduating, which is fine, it's perfectly fine. But then after experiencing things after high school, things that I've never experienced before, it changed me to pursue something different. So yeah, that's
So in a way, it kind of built the foundation for your current identity.
There you
Just
go.
laid it down.
There you go. You nailed it.
So, do you have any other interests or hobbies?
Well, I play soccer. I still, I'm still part of an indoor league off of 59 here in Houston. Music is a big passion. I don't play the saxophone as much, but I'd love to go back into it.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been getting into a lot of films, old films, series. The Twilight Zone, I've been watching that like every day. That I'd say that's a passion of mine now because it's mine. It's crazy. It's crazy. Coding is something I do for my website. When I'm bored, I'll configure my website and see if I can add anything different.
What does success mean to you?
Today.
Today is success?
Yeah. I mean, for my own high school to contact me and consider me a successful alumni, I think that's an honorable accolade that I can carry with me around.
I noticed you brought your book in today. Would you like to show us some photos?
Yeah. So my book, Naked, when I say that word, people already assume that it's filled with naked bodies and stuff, which it is, but it's only 2 images. The point of this book is to tell people what I see with my naked eye. So what people experience and visualize with their naked eye, and appreciate. So this is the cover. It comes with the sleeve, and then this is the cover of the book. And this is a self-portrait. This is an idea that Centrina came up with and I photographed, and it's supposed to be me, not in the photo. So naked. Do you understand?
That's
you
brilliant.
get it? Yeah. So my experience, the concept of the book is to plan out a day in one book, right? So this was taking place in Malibu, California, and also in some parts of North Hollywood. And so, it's just a book of documented travels, stuff we do all the time. But I have so many favorites in this book. The way I started it too, I had no idea what I was doing as far as selling it and marketing it. But through experience and through trial and error, I figured out that making it to order is the best way to do it, because you don't put yourself in debt, and you don't have a bunch of copies laying on the side of the room. But this is something I'm very proud of. This was just like I want to try it, and now it's on the Houston Chronicle. Yeah, this is Naked. You can find it on my website. I have a tab up there, and it's $60. You can get the special edition it comes with prints and everything for $75, or you can just buy the prints by itself.
Where can people view your work?
My website is Cary-Fagan.com.
Well, it was great having you here.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.